guys, welcome to this week's Downton Gabby, the Downton Abbey chat show. So we have a couple of carryover storylines from last week. Rose is setting up a surprise for Lord Grantham's birthday party. Wow. And she needs Cora's help with carrying out the surprise and keeping it a secret. And Cora's like, oh, don't tell me, Rose. So she tells her to set up the surprise with Mrs. Hughes because she takes care of all that stuff. We know! She takes care of everything. She's like the backbone of that house. So Baxter is in the room while they're talking, and she overhears that there's some sort of secret, but she doesn't know the details. And of course, Thomas wants to know what's what, so he's like, Baxter, give me some more deets. And she's like, I don't have them for you, I'm sorry. So Thomas starts wondering if like people are getting fired, and he's like freaking out. It's like an I Love Lucy episode or something. So then later on in the episode, Bates finds out that there's some sort of drama between Anna. Did I say Bates? I meant Baxter. Baxter finds out that there's some sort of drama between Anna and Bates, and she tells Thomas about that too, and he's like, alright. So moving on. The Dowager is also holding on to some drama from last week. She's missing some of her personal items. She's missing a paper knife and some other little trinket. And she thinks that it was Peg, the guy that she hired last week to work in the garden. And she fires him. She's like, you know what? I don't trust you. So Isabel finds out and she's like, she did what? Because Isabel set this whole thing up. And oh, snap, the maid found the little tchotchke that was missing, and Isabel was like, so they found one of the things. I don't think it was his fault. And the Dowager is like, really? Because there's still something else missing, and he's got some pretty deep pockets. So it was definitely Ockies between them. So then Isabel returns to the Dowager's house when she knows that she's not home. She pretends to be sick so she can just come in and get a glass of water. And she finds the paper knife, and it's crazy. So then the Dowager rehires Peg without Isabel knowing. So Isabel comes in to like tell her that she's a jerk and stuff, and Peg is already rehired. So it's like, she got her. You got Isabel. So moving on. Rose's surprise for Lord Grantham's birthday party is to have Jack Ross and his band come in and play after dinner. So, in order for this to happen, Mrs. Hughes needs to be in on the secret because they need to hide the band somewhere while everyone's at dinner. So, they're like, alright, I guess we'll hide them downstairs, whatevs. We'll get back to that. Next, Edith. We should just call her Lemony Snicket because she's living out a series of unfortunate events. Michael is missing in Germany. No one can get in touch with him, no one's seen him, there's no word from him, so she's freaking out. On top of that, she got a letter from the doctor. She's pregs. Oh my god! Okay, so that was like a crazy, crazy scandal back in the day, for obvious reasons, but like, whoa. So I don't know what's gonna happen with that. Well, I do know what's gonna happen with that because I've seen it. But in this context, what is she gonna do? Because she's pregnant, her baby daddy is not her husband, and he's missing. What do you do? So that's not gonna be resolved this episode, but next week you better watch out. So downstairs, Alfred finds out that he actually did make it into the Ritz School because he was number 5, and one of the 4 went and accepted another job, so there was an open spot, and it was his. So Jimmy is super jealous. He's very jealous. But Alfred is like, alright, I gotta get out of here because I'm gonna miss too much school if I don't leave. So they're all like, oh yeah, go, have fun. So there was a nice little moment when Alfred was serving dinner upstairs, and he was like thanking the Crawleys for being so nice to him, and it got like super emotional. And he also thanked Carson for training him so well and just being kind, so it was an moment. And then in the aftermath, the staff was all like, alright Carson, time to hire Mosley as a footman. And Carson is like, hell no. He already said no. He had an attitude, so I don't feel like it. Well, there were some fun times for some of the downstairs staff. It was date night. Anna and Bates went out to this fancy restaurant in a hotel, and they showed up and they were like, "Yo, we got a reservation for 2 here." And the maitre d' was like, I don't see it on the list, because he like looked him up and down and was like, "You're not fancy enough to be here," in so many words. So it just so happens, coincidence, that Lady Grantham was having a dinner at that hotel that night too, and she went over to the maitre d' and vouched for them and was like, "Oh, hey guys!" So the maitre d' was super embarrassed and took them to their table, and he was kissing their ass the rest of the night. But that was cool. So then there was also a movie night for Jimmy and Ivy, because Jimmy is so jealous of Alfred that he needs to get him back by taking Ivy out for a date. And after the movie, he comes on way too strong, and Ivy's like, no. So it really makes her appreciate Alfred and how much of a gentleman he is. Too bad he's leaving for London. Alright, so someone who's not leaving, or 2 people who are not leaving, Evelyn Napier and Charles Blake, his boss, arrive. Hi! So there is a crap ton of tension between Mary and Blake. They're here on this project to they're studying some of the estates in the county and seeing why they're failing and stuff, and it's more about food production than anything else. And Mary thinks that they're coming around to give advice to the estates, and Charles Blake is like, no. And Mary's like, "Oh, you're not on our team." So there's a lot of tension there. Alright, moving on. Another nice moment of the episode, Tom, Mary, and Isabel all in the nursery hanging out with the bebbies, and they were talking about how it sucks that their significant others have passed on, but at the same time, at least they have known a great love. So that was cute. And now let's talk about Lord Grantham's birthday party. So they started off with a dinner with, I guess, all of his friends, and then while this dinner was going on, the staff freaked out because Jack Ross showed up. What? Black alert. So there weren't a lot of black people around them, I suppose, in this time. So they were a little bit shocked. They didn't know how to react. There were some mixed reactions. Carson was like, "Ooh, I don't know about this." And everyone else was like, "Oh, he's nice. He actually was very nice." It's not actually, he was nice. So then after dinner, they had a dance party. It was time to reveal Jack Ross to the family, and everyone was really really cool about it except for Edith. She was unsure. She was like, "Should we really have this in our house?" So I was surprised. Even Lord Grantham was like, "Let's dance." So it seemed like they had a fun evening. No scariness like at the last party that they had with the opera singer. But after the party, Mary was going downstairs to find Jack Ross. I don't know why I keep calling him Jack Ross instead of just Jack, whatever. Jack Ross. Because Lord Grantham wanted him to send the bill to him instead of Rose. So she was going to go tell him that, and she catches Rose making out with him in the servants area. Ah, what? That's a big deal back then. That was a big deal. So, hot dog, there's some drama there, but I think Mary's gonna keep quiet about it. They have some little connection now. So next time, Lord Grantham has to go to America. Something to do with Cora's brother being in trouble, with some bad investments or something. The Dowager Countess is sick, and it's kind of scary because she's really old. And there's more tension between Mary and Blake. That's fun, cat and mouse. Edith is pregnant. She's gonna have to do something about that. Yeah, what? What do you do? And there will be the return of Gillingham and Green. Okay, so let me know what you guys thought of the episode in the comments. Let's see, what should our question of the week be? What is Edith gonna do? What do you think Edith will do about the pregnancy and the whole Michael situation? Leave it in the comments. And until next time, much love.
Edit.